Hey guys, my name is John. You're watching CANRUSH. We are traveling right now in Georgia, and some of you, if you're paying close attention, may have noticed that I don't wear glasses anymore. In the old videos I had glasses and now I don't, and that's because I got corrective laser eye surgery. In this video I want to share my experience with you, how my operation went, how I've been recovering, and just what my thoughts are in general. So if you're interested, keep watching. Just a couple days ago was exactly a month after my operation. Laser eye surgery is something that I've thought about for a long time. I'm 29 years old now, and yeah, I got glasses when I was 12 for the first time, I think. I didn't really wear them much until I started driving when I was 16. I ran a stop sign one time, and I realized, oh, I should probably wear my glasses when I'm driving at least, and gradually I just started wearing them more and more often until I was pretty much wearing them constantly. So I would wake up, put them on, and wear them until I went to bed, and the process would repeat. So, and I've tried contact lenses off and on, but I was always just kind of annoyed by the process of having to clean them and put them in, take them out, and I don't know. It just always seemed like a hassle to me, and it was always just kind of annoying that I couldn't just see like many other people can. And some of my friends and family had already done laser eye surgery, and I thought, wow, that sounds really cool. And so finally I got around to looking into it, and everything went really quickly because I went in for a diagnosis in Moscow, Russia, where my wife and I have been living. I say have been living because we're sort of in a limbo. We're traveling in Georgia right now, the country, Georgia. We still have things in Moscow, Russia, but almost right away when we go back to Moscow, we're gonna move to Canada. So anyway, I did my diagnosis there at a clinic. I can put the name in the description, I guess. I don't know if anybody will be interested in the clinic in Moscow, but it's Konovalov clinic. He is a well-known doctor here in Russia, and everything went well. They did so many tests in my eyes. I've definitely never done so many tests in my eyes, all these different machines that I don't even know what they were all checking. But at the end, doctor said that I can do it, that I'm a candidate for the operation. And apparently some people aren't. I don't know all the details, and so you can Google that. But I was one of the lucky ones, and the doctor said, yep, you can do it. So when do you want to do it? And I said, well, the sooner the better, probably, because I wanted to travel, and I knew that I'd have to be going back for checkups. And she said, well, we could do it tomorrow morning. And so just like that, I went to the diagnosis, and the next day I did the operation. My specific operation is called Femto-LASIK, and the operation has two steps basically. During the first step, they have to cut the top layer of your cornea, and when you do Femto-LASIK, they use a femto laser for this step, and a laser controlled by a computer just cuts this circle around your cornea, and then it makes this flap. So the doctor uses this instrument to lift the flap, and there's still a hinge attached, so it's not completely, they don't completely remove that layer. And the next step is another laser, also controlled by a computer, reshapes or remodels the middle layer of your cornea so that it's the right shape to correct your vision, basically. I'm not a doctor, so I might not be explaining it in the most detailed terms, but there are lots of videos and articles about this on the internet that you can find. So for me, just about my experience specifically, I had to do a few different analysis and blood tests. So like for infectious diseases, I think hepatitis, HIV, and syphilis. And I took all the analyses with me, and I was there about 30 minutes before my operation. They put a gown on me and a little cap and some like covers on my feet, so that, I mean, I guess because the operation room is sterile, of course. And then they took me into the operation room. They put a bunch of drops in my eyes, including anesthesia. So the operation, during the whole operation, you're conscious. So it's just local anesthesia. And they got to work. So they put this, I don't know what you call it in English, but this thing that holds your eye open. They put this metal thing under your eyelids. It was a little bit uncomfortable, but not painful at all. There wasn't really any pain in the whole operation. And the next thing that they do is they put this suction ring on the eye itself. I think it's to keep it from moving. That is probably the most uncomfortable thing of the whole operation. It kind of feels like you're just like pushing on your eye through your eyelid. Like there's just a lot of pressure. So it wasn't pain, but definitely some discomfort. And the femto laser cuts the top layer of the cornea. And then the doctor uses this instrument to lift up the flap and open up to reveal the middle layer of the cornea. After that, another laser controlled by a computer remodels the middle layer of the cornea and corrects your vision. And then the doctor uses another instrument to put that flap back, the top flap of your cornea, and some other little tools to like sort of smooth everything out, so that everything's smooth and that it will heal. It was a little bit stressful just thinking like not to move your eye. There's a little, I think it was a green light that they just kept repeating, like look at the light, and as they explained what they were doing. As soon as it was over, I got up and they told me to look at the clock and tell them what time it was. It was 11:09. And I didn't look beforehand, but I'm sure I wouldn't have been able to see the clock. The whole thing took like, I would say 15 minutes maybe. The actual time the laser is working is just, it's measured just in seconds. So the actual cut takes maybe like 5-10 seconds max. And then when the remodeling of the cornea, I think, yeah, like 6 seconds or something, very, very fast. So it's basically just in and out. After the surgery, I went out into the hallway and sat there with my eyes closed for about half an hour. I did send a message off to my wife real quick to let her know that everything was okay, and I could already tell that I could see better. And then Dr. Konovalov took a look at my eyes, did a little examination, and he said that everything looked good. And then he explained everything that I needed to know. So there were a few things that I needed to do after the surgery. The main thing was just to always put drops in my eye. At first there was, I think, 5 times a day, 2 different drops. So just like regular drops to moisturize your eye, and also drops antibiotics, I guess, so there wouldn't be any infection. And gradually the amount of drops that I had to do were less and less. There were a few like restrictions. So the first 5 days after the operation, I wasn't supposed to get any water in my eyes. So they said not to wash my hair, and of course, like, girls shouldn't use makeup, etc. I wasn't supposed to drive my first day, but the next day they said it was fine to drive. There were no restrictions in terms of like stressing my eyes. So they said that stress is actually good if I can read or use my phone or, you know, watch TV or something. So the first day, I know a lot of people, I watched videos on YouTube, they say that they just slept after the operation. I slept maybe for an hour, but most of the day I was awake, and we had guests over, and then we had other guests over, and I watched some TV shows. My eyes would get a little bit tired, but for the most part, it wasn't bad, and I could already see way better. The next day I had a checkup, and they said everything was good. My vision was over, like, better than 20/20. And from there, it just kept getting better. A week later, I had another checkup, and yeah, they said my eyes were a little bit dry, but it wasn't really a problem. So they had me come in again another week later, so 2 weeks after the operation, and they said that everything looked great. Again, my vision was better than 20/20, and they said that I could come back again if I want, but it's not really necessary if I don't have any complaints. So I haven't been back since. And I would say for about a week and a half, I felt this sort of like scratching feeling under my eyelid, like as if you just had a little something in your eye. But yeah, that's completely gone now, and I can see well. I wasn't supposed to swim or go to saunas for a month, which wasn't really an issue, but now that we're in Georgia, I've been swimming in the Black Sea, and it's so cool. There's just things that you wouldn't think of before so much, but for example, in the shower, I realized, wow, I can see my feet, I can see my toes. Like I never showered with my glasses or contact lenses before, so that was a new thing for me. And when I went swimming also, usually at the beach I don't have my glasses or contact lens on. I didn't in the past. So now I can see all the people, I can see everything. It's definitely a different experience, and it's kind of crazy. It's one of the very few like operations that I know where you can just basically like upgrade your body, you know, just something doesn't work that well and you just do an operation and you can see. I'm really happy that I did it. I have no complaints. The clinic sponsored us to do the operation, but if I were to pay the full price, it was a bit more expensive because this Dr. Konovalov is like the head doctor at this clinic and he charges more, and Femto-LASIK is more expensive, so it was 77,000 rubles per eye. A lot of people have asked me about the operation, to tell them what it was like, and a lot of people have told me that they're thinking about doing laser eye surgery, or they've been thinking about it for a long time. I say, if you've been thinking about it for a long time, the best thing to do is just go to the consultation, go do a diagnosis. Because, I mean, there's some chance that you may have, there may be a reason why you can't do the operation, and then there's no point in thinking about it for years and then, you know, finding out that you can't do it. And then if you do find out that you can do it, then you can look more into it more and see whether or not it's for you, whether or not that's what you want to do. But also, when I did the diagnosis, they gave me a full prescription for glasses, so even if I wasn't able to do the surgery, I could have gotten new glasses, so it wouldn't have been a total loss. I'm really happy. I feel like my quality of life has improved. I haven't had any bad side effects. My eyes are not really dry. Like I can still do the moisturizing eye drops, but I don't do much. I just kind of do them once in a while out of habit now because I did them for a whole month. But yeah, not really any problems with dry eyes, and I'm happy. If you have any questions, feel free to write them in the comments, and I will try to answer them if I can. I hope that my experience helped you out, and if you're sort of on the fence thinking about doing it, then definitely look into it. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe, and I will see you again soon. Bye bye.